Hey guys, welcome to day 7 of rchelicopterfun.com's flight school. Today we are going to be doing the circuit around the pilot. Today's exercise is to teach you how to fly with the helicopter, one pointed forward, which you already learned on day 6. But today we're going to be doing circuits around my fixed location. And you're going to be seeing the bird sideways the entire time. So you're just getting more orientation on a side-on view of the helicopter so you can get more comfortable with that. And the whole idea of today is to feel comfortable with the helicopter side-on, so when we move to big circuit flying, you feel comfortable when we start introducing banking turns. But today we're going to keep the circle quite nice and tight, nice and small around my fixed location. For most people with a clockwise rotating rotor, going counterclockwise first is easier, just because of the dynamics that are going on with the tail rotor. And then after we do that, we'll move to a clockwise circuit. I'm actually over the reference spot now instead of the helicopter. I've got the helicopter in front of me. This is kind of where you want to be careful. The sun's low in the horizon, as it is now. It could blind you, so take that into consideration. Best to maybe do this on an overcast day or when the sun's a little bit higher up. We're using the little Blade 400, and it's a little bit windy. We're gusting up to about 15 km, so you're really going to get to see it bouncing around, but hopefully that'll give you some idea of what kind of wind a little 400 can handle. And we're going to start off with a counterclockwise circuit around my fixed position. We're going to be flying the heli around our fixed location, somewhat like a line control airplane. If any of you are familiar with that, we're going to be keeping it slow and controlled so we do not get dizzy, and we're going to keep it probably about 10-15 feet out in front of us, kind of where it is right now on the pavement. Again, we've got our nice tame throttle curves and pitch curves, so if we get into trouble we can just slowly lower the collective and throttle, and the bird will come down nice and soft. So we'll get it up. Its tail is pointing into us at this point. And we're just going to get it into a nice hover. And from day 6, you're going to be comfortable with seeing it on the side. And now we just want to slowly start moving it forward around our fixed position. And if you feel like you're getting disorientated, get the nose forward again, or you can pivot your body to point in the same direction as the heli. The reason I'm going clockwise or counterclockwise first is because it's a little bit easier with a clockwise rotating rotor. The bird just kind of wants to follow that turn rate. I'm holding in just a little bit of left tail rotor, and again it's a little windy out, so that's why it's bouncing about a bit. But nice and slow. Try to keep it at a fixed altitude. Of course, in the wind, gusty winds, that's going to be pretty hard. But that's essentially what you want to do. Try to keep it as level as possible. Very difficult in this wind with a little 400. Again, that's why I recommend nothing smaller than a 400. But as we go into the wind, we're noticing a little translational lift. That's why it gains altitude, and when we're coming out of the wind, it drops. So you have to give a little extra collective stick when you're coming downwind as opposed to going into the wind. There, I'm going into the wind, it's gaining quite a bit. I have to lower my collective and throttle. So that's the counterclockwise circuit. Now we'll try the clockwise. Now this is going to be a little more difficult. There's a huge gust of wind there. And again, if you get into trouble, just kill the throttle. You've got that nice docile throttle and collective pitch curve set up. So now we'll try going clockwise. And again, this is going to be a little more difficult. You're You have to hold in more tail rotor, more right tail rotor to try to keep the nose pointing forward. And what these exercises are doing is just getting you comfortable with controlling it side on. And this is going to introduce us to day 8, where we're going to start making these circles around our fixed location much larger and faster. So you really have to feel comfortable with day 7 here before we progress to day 8. Again, I'm just holding in constant right tail rotor just a little bit, just to keep the nose turning with me. Well, it's getting a little high there. That's probably a little higher than we want. Again, lower down if you're getting uncomfortable. Feeling disorientated, get the nose pointed forward, tail towards you in a familiar orientation. And you can really see how the wind is affecting this, and certainly you wouldn't want to be flying in 10 to 15 kilometer an hour gusty winds like we are right now, but I thought it would be a good demonstration to use the 400 in this. And it's quiet, so you can hear me. We had the big 600. It'd probably be a little more difficult to hear me, but that's what day 7's all about. You know, and as you maybe feel a little more comfortable, you can start going a little bit faster, but you get into trouble, you know, land it, take a rest. And with that, I guess that concludes day 7. There's not really too much more I can say about today. It's not an easy day, and this is going to take a lot of practicing for a lot of people. Getting familiar with this side-on orientation is quite tricky. But again, day 6 prepared you for it, and today we'll really hone those side-on orientation skills. And with that, we'll conclude day 7, and we'll come back with the bigger heli for day